Last year in Rosemont, Illinois, an action-packed Season 2 of Athletes Unlimited Softball finished with Alicia Ocasio atop the leaderboard. Just last month, the supercharged inaugural season of AUX had a storybook walk-off that led to Tool wearing the gold. The next chapter of Athletes Unlimited Softball begins today with a fresh batch of new faces and returning fan favorites. Let's do it. Oh, man, off to a rousing start here in Rosemont, Illinois. Athletes Unlimited Softball brought to you by Aspiration. We've got Game 2 of what will be a 30-game Athletes Unlimited season. Every single game played here at Parkway Bank Sports Complex in the heart of Rosemont, Illinois. Getting ready for Team Ocasio taking on Team Zerkle. This is now year 3 of Athletes Unlimited Softball. And, folks, if you're not familiar, it is the best of the best. 60 of the best softball players in the world getting together for what is a 5-week season. Everyone's defined by this innovative scoring system, this algorithm. It identifies one individual champion. Every week you have 4 different captains, and they pick a new team every Monday, and we play every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So glad you found us with my partner, Madison Shipman, former All-American at Tennessee. I am Eric Collins, and, man, we are off to just a full steam start. We had a game earlier this afternoon. Team Eberly winning by 1, 4-3 over Team Chittister.
We seem to see a little bit of everything in that first game to kick off this Athletes Unlimited season. 3 solo shots, but ultimately the winning run scored on a strikeout. So what are we going to see in Game 2? Nobody knows, but I'm really excited to see Team Ocasio. Not surprised at all that the 2021 champion chose the AUX champion to be on her squad. You've got Alicia Ocasio and Daniel O'Toole on the same team. Both pitchers, both throwing completely different looks to try to come out with a win here tonight. And on the other side, you've got Rachel Garcia. You know her name, you recognize her name from what she was able to do at UCLA, but she carried that tradition into the AUX season. Started off a little bit rough, but just continued to get better. Came through with a couple of clutch hits, but really it was in the circle where she was fantastic. That curveball moving with great velocity and hitting her locations every time.
No, not only elite play, but this is what makes Athletes Unlimited so special. It is a scoring system that almost always gets it right. You want to win games. That's the most important thing. Everyone gets a 50-point bonus for the win. You get 10 points for winning individual innings. And then individually, if you do things well, you get rewarded. 10 points for a single, 20 for a double, 30 for a triple, so on and so forth. Pitchers get points by recording outs. And then when it's all said and done, we award MVPs. MVP 1, 60 points. MVP 2, 40. And MVP 3 gets 20 points. We also have another member of our crew. Keem Michael is with us, and she's always roving around talking to people and getting us the stories that we don't have access to. So we will have Key with us all evening long. There she is, getting ready to do her thing. And we're getting ready to do our thing. Both teams are lathered up, ready to go. And let's talk about the starting pitcher for Team Zerkle. It's going to be Rachel Garcia, the former All-American at UCLA.
Well, we talked about how great she was in the AUX season back in June, and she had a bit of a rough start, and it was because she was leaving the ball too much over the heart of the plate. She didn't over-adjust, but she continued to perfect her craft, work on that curveball, and that's what got so good towards the end of June, was her ability to move that ball with such great velocity. She's going to bring it in the high 60s. That curveball and her rise ball are her go-to pitches, but she also has a really devastating changeup that she's going to throw in there as well.
Probably the first time in her life that she ever really struggled, but it didn't last long. You learn a lot about yourself through adversity. She struggled and then figured it out and then dominated tail end of the AUX season. Let's take a look at the lineup card for Alicia Ocasio. Ocasio has another Florida Gator leading things off. Good friend Amanda Lorenz. Janae Jefferson, a rookie who has had a phenomenal couple of scrimmages, getting ready for her first pro action. TV Tori Van Alice. Nadia Taylor, Gwen Spekas, Danielle Gibson, Shannon Rhodes. Ocasio's going to hit for herself in the 8-hole. And one of the best fielders in the game today, the shortstop, Sis Bates. Defensively, Team Zerkle, Wiggins, Zerkle, and Busby in the outfield from left to right. An infield of Jaquish at third, Sydney Romero at short, Miller, and Gano right side, Deja Moulipola, the Olympian behind the plate, catching Rachel Garcia. All right, Madison Shipman, it's going to be tough to top what we saw here earlier today, but we're going to try. You know, it only gets better with Athletes Unlimited. So Team Eberly scored 3 times in the first inning of our first game. Didn't score again until the 7th inning, and they somehow won a ball game over Team Chittister. And we're off. First pitch of our ball game sails high to Amanda Lorenz. Ball 1.
I feel like every single batter that comes up here in Athletes Unlimited, we talk about how tough of an out they are. Well, Amanda Lorenz is definitely one of the toughest here. Has a great eye up at the plate. Such a short, compact, and strong swing. And she's another one of these players that just continues to get better year after year and approaches every single day with this fantastic, positive mindset that radiates throughout the rest of her teams.
Oh, radiating, great word. You can't be around Amanda Lorenz without radiating back to her. She is going forward with a smile on her face at all times. Second year with Athletes Unlimited for Lorenz. Last year she finished 11th on the leaderboard. She's been busy this summer. Played in the World Games, Team USA, Birmingham, Alabama. Also saw her out in San Diego playing AUX. And Lorenz draws the leadoff walk. So Garcia flirts with fire here in the first inning, allows the leadoff batter to reach safely.
A similar start to what we saw in Game 1 today. A walk ultimately led to 3 runs to start off that ball game. Team Ocasio looking to do the same thing here tonight.
So Lorenz passes the baton to Janae Jefferson. There is a buzz about Janae Jefferson. Young player out of Texas. Good looking player. Hard on the ground. Second baseman Filler gets the first out. No chance to double up Jefferson. First out of our ball game.
Number 29, Tori Vidalis.
So Jefferson switched spots with Lorenz on at first with 1 out. This is the 3rd year of Athletes Unlimited softball. Every championship series game has been played here in Rosemont, Illinois. Only ballpark ever built specifically for women's professional softball in North America. They love their softball here in Rosemont and the Chicagoland area.
It's always a great place to play, not just because of how fantastic the field is with the turf. I always loved playing on turf, but also the fan base that has been here year after year, just dedicated to the sport of softball and just love to come out here and celebrate what these athletes are able to do on the field.
TV Tori Vidalis. Equally talented holding a bat in her hands or holding a microphone in her hands. You've seen and heard her on the ESPN family of networks.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we mic her up if she starts to commentate the game while she's playing it.
Limited future for TV Tori Vidalis. She's played in Athletes Unlimited for 3 years now, finished 8th on the leaderboard back in 2020, finished 16th on the leaderboard last year. And virtually every lineup she's been in, she's hitting in that 3-hole. That is the home for someone who gives you a good at bat, puts the ball in play, hits it hard almost every single time somewhere. That's an aggressive swing on a 69-mile-an-hour pitch.
She is hacking at those rise balls up in the zone. Always a pitch that I liked to swing at as well. I feel like I can still hear Kat Osterman yelling at me to see the ball down, but those rise balls just look too good when they're coming in there. I'm sure Tori feels the same way I do on those pitches.
There goes the runner down to second, and that'll be a straight steal. Oh no, it's a walk. I'm sorry, ball 4 for Vidalis.
Nadia Taylor.
Really good at bat for Tori Vidalis too, fouling off some of those marginal pitches, even some of those rise balls that she wanted to hack at, fouled them off. Watch that one go by, and now 2 runners on board with 1 away.
Here's Nadia Taylor. Jefferson and Vidalis on in front of her. Nadia's third go-around with Athletes Unlimited. Former Texas Longhorn, two-sport athlete at Texas. She got you beat, Madison. She played softball and basketball at Texas.
I feel like every single year we talk about just how impressive Nadia Taylor is, her approach to every single ball game, the way that she preps herself coming into these seasons. The big point of emphasis for her this year was her defense. She really wanted to work on getting more athletic on the defensive side of things. She knows what she can do with the bat. She's got one of the strongest swings here at Athletes Unlimited, but really worked on her footwork to make some of those great plays that we saw her make at AUX on the dirt.
Garcia misses outside. Garcia's been her own worst enemy here in the first inning. She's walked a pair. Garcia, one of those pitchers, though, she can get away with that because her stuff is so good, she can get a strikeout. Taylor thinking that was ball 4, but it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's a good location, too. I like that Rachel Garcia isn't over-adjusting to some of these pitches being called balls, just barely brings them into that strike zone. Comes back with another strike on that foul ball, straight back off the bat of Nadia Taylor. One of the things I think Rachel Garcia was doing in Series 1 of AUX is when something was called a ball, she'd over-adjust, bring it too far into the strike zone. That's when people are going to capitalize. But here she seemed to learn that you need to keep the ball on the outside part of the zone in order to be successful.
We'll do it again. Jefferson on at second. Vidalis follows her at first. Oh, didn't mean to. Aggressive play. Nice play by Jaquish to get the out at second. Wow, I didn't think there was an out to be had there. 2 down as Taylor beats the return throw to first. Runners on at the corners.
The ball off the bat, I thought for sure Jaquish was going to throw across the diamond to first, but look at the way she sets this one up, throws it on the run, that low angle with her arm, able to fire it over to Andrea Filler, who's there at second base. Really good that she was there too. She must have been anticipating that throw coming to her, maybe something that they practiced earlier in the week, because typically you'd see a lot of third basemen just go ahead and get the sure out over at first, but Savannah Jaquish wanted to make sure that another runner didn't move on over into scoring position.
All right, here's one of the all-time greats with Athletes Unlimited, Gwen Svekis. Svekis has had top 10 finishes each of her first 2 years here in AU championship seasons. 2020 finished 5th. Last year finished 10th. Ball and 2 strikes to Svekis. Early opportunity for Team Ocasio. Garcia has not allowed a base hit, but she's walked a pair. Ball hasn't left the infield, couple ground outs. High pop, going to be playable for the shortstop, Sydney Romero. And the side is retired. So Garcia flirted with a little bit of trouble, but leaves runners on at the corners. We're halfway through the first inning here in beautiful Rosemont, Illinois. Back with the bottom of the first inning in a moment.
Sitting in the seat as a captain drafting your team is kind of a nerve-wracking but an amazing experience because the team is in your hands to choose. And there's a pool of amazing players, elite players, top percentile players that we get to choose from as captains. I make sure to create an environment on Team Ocasio that's fun. We can also flip the switch and get our work done. That's priority. Have I played with you before? Is there a certain level of comfortability that we already have with each other? Those things come into account when I'm picking a team, but ultimately I want the players who are on my team to have fun because it doesn't mean anything if we don't enjoy the people around us while we're playing the games we love.
I love it. The intensity of Alicia Ocasio. No one in Athletes Unlimited history has been a captain more than her, with the exception of Kat Osterman. All right, she's going to start herself in the circle. Let's talk about what she brings to the table as a pitcher.
Well, she's somebody else that has that really strong drop ball that she's going to throw to both sides of the plate. Great movement on that pitch as well, and she's got a really strong off speed. You see the pitchers that have the most success here in Athletes Unlimited have that go-to changeup that they can rely on in any count, and she's got one of those pitches.
Megan Wiggins leads things off. Wiggins leading things off for Team Zerkle. Wiggins has been a pro since 2011. Wiggins will be followed by Morgan Zerkle, the captain, Sydney Romero, Savannah Jaquish, Deja Moulipola. Garcia's going to hit for herself. We got Filler, Gano, and Busby. It's an old school game. We got two starting pitchers who are hitting for themselves. Somewhere Lisa Fernandez is ecstatic. Defensively behind Ocasio, she values defense. She's got Lorenz out in left field. We'll start with their infield. You got Taylor, Bates, and Jefferson, with Tori Vidalis, the first baseman. Gwen Svekis behind the plate. And then outfield of Lorenz, Rhodes.
Rachel Lewis out there in right
Rachel
field.
Lewis, yeah.
Got a big round of applause when her name was announced in the starting lineup.
Called strike 3. Wiggins is out number 1.
Can just see this movement. Megan Wiggins challenging her, putting her toes on the chalk line. Look at where that pitch started and where it ends up. Not only is she taking a little bit off of that pitch, but that movement working its way down in the zone is what makes her so tough to hit.
Rachel Lewis getting that strong support out in right field. She is a Chicago college player. She played at Northwestern. For years, this field was home for the Chicago Bandits, and the Bandits had so many Northwestern players, DePaul players. When they turned professional, they would play for the Bandits and won a lot of games, including championships in National Pro Fast Pitch. There's Rachel Lewis. Northwestern making it to the Women's College World Series this past spring.
Had one of the most exciting super regionals too out in Tempe, going up against Arizona State. Back and forth games the entire time. And Rachel Lewis, one of the strongest players that you're going to see out here in Athletes Unlimited, just loves to be in the weight room.
Zerkle draws the walk. So Morgan Zerkle, who always seems to find a way to get points. She picks up 10 points for drawing the walk. Make it 8 points for drawing the walk. Hey, how about this? We have the MVP totals for our game 1. Carrie Eberle came out of the bullpen, got the win as a pitcher. She gets the plus 60. MVP 2, Hannah Flippin, and Victoria Hayward gets 20 points. So all of those, besides Eberle, wow, yeah, everyone on Team Eberle with all the points, even though all the home runs in the game were hit by Team Chittister.
I think that goes to show you just how important those team win points are. Of course, you can accumulate individual stat points with the home runs, with the hits, with the sacrifice bunts. But ultimately, what a lot of these players say is they're going out there to win these ball games because they know just how important it is.
Sydney Romero, 1 out, runner aboard. That is a fair ball. Extra bases for Romero. Heading around third, here comes Zerkle, and she will score standing. Wow, that is an easy run-scoring double for Sydney Romero. She scores Zerkle all the way from first, and it's an inning win for Team Zerkle.
I love this confident approach by Sydney Romero, too, knowing that Alicia Ocasio has that really good off-speed pitch. She goes up there and hunts this pitch. It's 56 miles per hour, ends up coming back across the plate on the inside part of the plate. And she just gets her hands out in front, gets on time, and drives that thing down the left field line to bring across the first run of this ball game and get her team those 10 inning points.
So Rachel Garcia walked 2 in the top of the first inning, but wasn't hurt by it. Ocasio walks 1 here in the bottom of the first inning, and it cost her. All right, here is the great Savannah Jaquish. She has feasted here at Parkway Bank Sports Complex over the years. Hits this one high and foul. Right size, wrong shape. Savannah Jaquish 2 years ago finished 9th on the leaderboard. Last year, she finished 7th on the leaderboard.
And when you ask her, she's not satisfied with those finishes. She wants that top spot. She has such a competitive mentality that she brings to the field every single day. So she is hunting after that #1 spot in this season.
Greatest ever played LSU. Savannah Jaquish. She's always been good, but she's getting better and better as a pro. Hard to right, solid single. Lewis gets it back to the infield quickly. That's what Jaquish does. Sprays line drives everywhere.
And it's swings like that, adjustments like that make Savannah Jaquish so good when she steps into the box. We saw her hit that deep fly ball down the left field line. She knows that Ocasio is going to try to throw her something different. She shortens up her swing and hits a line drive out to right field. When you have a hitter that can spray the ball to all fields, as a pitcher, you're sitting there thinking, what do I throw them next? What do I throw them to get them out? And that's the exact situation that you want all these pitchers' mindsets to be in, especially if you're somebody like Savannah Jaquish.
Ocasio struck out Wiggins to begin this first inning, but then walked Zerkle, gave up the double to Romero. Now the single by Jaquish. Here's Deja Moulipola. Called strike 1 to Moulipola. Former Arizona All-American. Played for Team USA in the Olympics last summer. Little number. Look at the spin on that. Oh my goodness. Infield base hit for Moulipola. That started out right and took an immediate left-hand turn.
As a pitcher, as a fielder, there's just nothing you can do on ground balls like that. And Alicia Ocasio is one of the best fielding pitchers out there. This ball had so much spin. This second hop right there, it just bounces past Alicia Ocasio on her right side. When the ball takes a hop like that, as an infielder, you just throw your hands up in the air and go, you tip your cap and say, hey, I didn't know where that ball was going. There was nothing else I could do on it. But for Deja Moulipola, looks like a line drive in the books. You're going to take it.
She gets 10 points and an RBI. Here's Rachel Garcia. Garcia batting here in the first inning. She's in the 6th spot in the order. She's already decided a 2-0 lead. Remember, she's the pitcher for Team Zerkle. Right back to Ocasio. She goes to 3rd for 1 and throw to first not nearly in time. So Garcia keeps the inning alive by hustling down the line. 2 down.
Ocasio saying, see what happens when the ball doesn't take those funky hops on me? I can make great defensive plays. That one, a hard hit ball right back to her. Fires over to third base to get that lead runner out. Really nice job to bounce back by Ocasio.
2 down. Andrea Filler is the batter. Filler, like the right fielder Rachel Lewis, product of Northwestern, Evanston, Illinois, just north of the city of Chicago. Popped up into center field. Shannon Rhodes makes the play, and the side is retired, but it's an inning win for Team Zerkle. They score 2 points, 2 runs, and everyone gets 10 points. To the second we go. Yeah, a real good start for Team Zerkle. They scored 10 points as a team because of winning the first inning, and they're off and running, leading 2-0 over Team Ocasio. The Unlimited Club provides great benefits, including voting on league decisions, interaction with players, signed items, and more. For more information or to join today, go to auprosports.com. Third member of our crew, Key Michael, standing by. Key, what's going on?
I'm here with Steve and Holly. These are Gwen's parents. Gwen is like ground zero AU for me. She's the first person I met when I came to Athletes Unlimited. I love her so much, and you obviously do, too.
And you may love her more than I. No, you know, it's very kind of you to say. I mean, I think that everything that she was as a child, she really has embodied, continued to embody as an adult. And I like to think that I think that's very kind of what you said.
She's one of the best people. I mean, she was the player career coordinator for volleyball, which is why I know her so well. But What is she like off the field when she's not playing softball? What does she get up to?
Well, she's funny. She's incisive. You know, she's very, very smart. I mean, what you see here is what you see there. So there's not a closed page of her book. Everything's open.
One of the most welcoming people I think I've ever met. Now, I noticed that we are right on the line, in line with the pitcher and the catcher. Is that an accident?
No, not an accident. We always like to offer the umpires encouragement and, you know, show them plenty of love and, you know, make sure that the strike zone stays nice and as wide as possible. So,
Absolutely. And as a parent of AU, are you kind of wrapping your head around, you've been here for 3 seasons now, wrapping your head around the point system and how players swap back and forth every day, basically?
Well, Gwen was the last 2 years of the Bandits in the NPF. She was out here, and as talented and great as that league was, you could tell that the sport needed something. And I think that what John and Jonathan have done, and the heavy lift to try what they tried in 2020. Not even mentioning the pandemic, but just the style of softball, the point system, very intimidating to a segment of people. But the sport needed something like that, I think. And then to see them actually succeed in 2020, and then now the 2021, 2022, and then the AUX, it's just been sort of these nice, gentle, subtle moves with the league. And I can't say enough about those two, and all the player coordinators that are involved. It's just really fantastic.
Well, I'm so glad that you're part of the AU family. It feels like we're family already, and we literally just met.
We love you. I mean, we've been watching basketball and AUX, and you said that key. What if we actually said it'd be a highlight?
I didn't even pay him. I didn't even pay him to say this. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the softball.
Keith, thank you so much. You were talking about John and Jonathan, talking about John Patrikoff and Jonathan Soros, 2 co-founders, and man, the vision that they had to think about kind of like the unthinkable. This is professional sports being played like it's never been done before. One venue, teams playing on different sides every week, scoring system as opposed to just normal wins and losses. But it works.
It's a completely innovative scoring system and a twist on the traditional game of softball. And I think one thing that is really overwhelming when you talk to all these players is just how much fun they have playing in this league because it's so different, because they get to play with a bunch of different players every week.
Lashed down the left field line. What a great play by Megan Wiggins. The throw to second, not in time. It'll be a double for Shannon Rhodes, but she had to earn it. Man, Megan Wiggins, like she was shot out of a cannon getting that ball in the corner.
This ball hit so hard off the bat of Shannon Rhodes, and because it was hit so hard, Megan Wiggins knew that she had a shot to throw her out at second base. Rhodes rounding first base, thinks she's gonna have 2 all the way, and as soon as she sees Megan Wiggins pick up that ball, she picked up a little bit of speed, rounding first, headed into second, but either way, a nice double in the in the top of the second.
79 miles per hour off the bat for Shannon Rhodes. Give her 20 points with the double. Here's Alicia Ocasio, the pitcher hitting for herself, and just couldn't quite pull the trigger. Huge weapon it is to be a 2-way player in this league. You can get points as a pitcher and as a hitter.
I think it was Haley McClinney that actually said she was a little jealous of the pitchers that also hit because there's more opportunities for them to rack up points. And really because of that, a point of emphasis for Alicia Ocasio and her training heading into this year was working on her hitting to be able to get those points up at the plate, help herself out in these types of ball games.
What I would tell Haley McClinney is when you're pitching, that's when you have the most opportunity to lose points. Alicia Ocasio, she gave up 2 earned runs in the first inning, so she's sitting at a -20 right now. Swung on and missed Rachel Garcia. That is her first strikeout. There are 2 outs here in our second inning.
Garcia goes with this rise ball. Look at that movement, that late jumpy movement at the end of this pitch. It's a great location just on top of the barrel of Alicia Ocasio.
Here's Sis Bates. What a breath of fresh air. Saw her for her collegiate career out at Washington, and she's the same player as a pro. Everyone's buddy. That's probably the biggest swing I've ever seen her take. and she pops out foul to the third baseman, Jaquish. Side is retired. The one-out double by Shannon Rhodes goes by the wayside. Bottom of the second, 2-0 lead for Team Zerkle.
MVP voting for Game 1 tonight is now complete.
One-0. Swinging! Gaino! She's done it! A walk-off grand slam to finish the AUX season!
Well, it's a general life rule that you want to leave people smiling when you leave them. Courtney Gaino left everyone smiling when she hit a grand slam to close the door on the AUX season out in San Diego.
Well, I think the person that had the biggest smile on their face was Danielle O'Toole, because with this swing, Danielle O'Toole won the inaugural AUX season back in June. And it was such a back-and-forth game, not just who was going to win that ball game, but who was going to win that season. It all depended upon who won that ball game. And just that swing, Courtney Gaino, the grand slam, of course, was fantastic, but Danielle O'Toole ultimately coming out as the champion.
Gaino leads things off for Team Zerkle. They won the first inning by scoring twice on Alicia Ocasio. Gaino will be followed by Haley Busby, and then the top of the order, Megan Wiggins.
I think she was going for another grand slam on that swing.
Gaino, Californian, left the state to play college softball at Washington. Little number, first base side, TV Tori Vidalis, out number 1.
Right fielder 54, Haley Busby.
Last batter to face Alicia Ocasio, Haley Busby. Steps in. Busby swings and hits it long but foul. Busby just finished her college experience at Oklahoma State, went to the Women's College World Series with the Cowgirls. Something she feels she's going to get a chance to do at her previous school. She started at Virginia. Left Virginia because she wanted to play with a chance to win big. And win big she did at Oklahoma State. Nice year.
Several things are great about the sport of softball, but one of the things I always pay attention to is just how different every person's stance and swing is up at the plate. One thing you're going to notice with Haley Busby when she steps into the box is just how upright she stands in her stance. Hardly any bend in her knees when she gets ready to swing. Very calm, cool, and collected in her approach. It's always so fun to see how different players are so successful in what they do.
Nadia Taylor goes down to her knees, and the throw gets away from Vidalis, and Busby's going to take an extra base. It'd be interesting to see how that one's ruled.
We talked about how Nadia Taylor had really worked on her defense in the offseason. Saw it pay off in AUX, and another great play over at third base. But because that ball went past Tori Vidalis at first, it allowed Haley Busby to advance over into scoring position.
Hey, good news for Haley Busby. They're going to rule that's a single for Busby, and the error by Taylor on the throw allows Busby to go over to second. So 10 points for Busby on the single. Back to the top of the order, and Megan Wiggins. Wiggins struck out looking. It's the only strikeout of the game for Ocasio. Foul down the left field line. Megan Wiggins, for over a decade, has been one of the elite power speed players in fast pitch. Won a home run title playing in National Pro Fast Pitch. She's always among the league leaders in stolen bases. She's always played a really good center field. A lot of times in recent years we've seen her move over to left.
Had 3 home runs in the AUX season, 2 spraying the ball to all fields. Taking a big cut at that 64-mile-an-hour pitch up in the zone. She's always somebody that's constantly making adjustments too, from at-bat to at-bat, from pitch to pitch, always learning from her previous at-bats to take into her next at-bat. And I love how she challenges pitchers by crowding the plate. You can see that back toe is right on the chalk line every single time that she steps into the box, because she knows just how quick her hands are on pitches that are inside.
This season she's using that half shield. In years past, Megan's had that full mask. I remember beginning of AUX, she actually was worried about maybe missing time because she fouled the ball off her face.
The one time she's not wearing a mask.
Yeah, those half shields are really coming on. Little nubber. Ocasio looks the runner back to second. 2 down. Ocasio is so quick, isn't she, with those feet?
Another great defensive play, too, that she just makes look so easy. A ball off the bat, I thought Haley Busby for a second was thinking about taking third, but because she has such a strong arm and because she has such great footwork, you're going to see her turn to literally look Haley Busby back to second base, and then that low angle that she throws over to first from. So accurate and so athletic in the circle.
All right, here's the captain, Morgan Zerkle. And I think one of the things about Athletes Unlimited, it has made players like Morgan Zerkle, the rest of the world understands her greatness. Morgan Zerkle's played for Team USA. She was a multi-time All-American at Marshall. She's played all over. But she's the type of batter that hits in the high 390s. Every once in a while hits a home run, steals her. But with Athletes Unlimited, her consistent performance is what makes her an elite player. She has played in 3 different versions of Athletes Unlimited, coming in 5th, in 6th, and in 4th. That's incredible, the consistent elite play for Zerkle.
Consistency is really the word that stands out to me when I think about Morgan Zerkle. And you can see in her way that she approaches her at bat, she's constantly reading the defense, reading what the pitcher is going to throw her, because she has so many tools coming from the left side. Is she going to bunt? Is she going to slap? Is she going to hit away? And as a defense and as a pitcher, you're constantly thinking about those things as well, because she'll change them from pitch to pitch too, depending on the situation, depending on where the runners are. But she is so good every single time that she steps onto the field because of that routine and that mindset that she brings every single day.
And Zerkle, for the second time in as many innings, draws the walk. Walks are worth a +8. So Zerkle is on at first. Busby on in front of her, 2 down, and Sydney Romero will bat.
I'll be interested to see what Sydney Romero goes after here in this at-bat. Last at-bat, she went after the off-speed pitch, about 55, 56 miles per hour, and drove it down the left field line for a double. So as a batter, you're always thinking, do I change my game plan or do I look for a similar pitch?
Sydney Romero, doubled in a run her last time up. Here's your Geico leaderboard. All of those players playing earlier today. Team Eberly, the winner. That's why Team Eberly has so many players on the leaderboard. You get all those points for winning innings and the total game. Romero flies out to left, and the side is retired. A scoreless inning here in Rosemont. When we come back, we will have Lorenz, Jefferson, and Vidalis batting. Janae Jefferson, what a career she had at Texas.
One of the most elite players to come out of the college game, especially over at Texas. She is so good defensively, but her bat, she's so dynamic coming from the left side. She can hit the ball out of the park. She can run the bases. She can truly do it all. One of those really spectacular, special players to come out of the Texas program.
Jefferson, one of the rookies in this year's field, and a lot is expected out of her. We also saw what Danielle Gibson could do. She was really good early on in AUX out in San Diego. Mia Davidson, all she did in her first pro game was bat in the cleanup spot earlier today. Peyton St. George was super solid as the starting pitcher in game 1. So Maggie Ballot, Rachel Lewis. Third inning, we've got 20 inning points on the line. It'll be Amanda Lorenz, followed by Janae Jefferson, and then Tori Vidalis batting against Rachel Garcia. Maybe the most patient hitter this year with Athletes Unlimited, Amanda Lorenz.
I could agree with you on that. I definitely think that she is one of the most patient. I would say Allie Harrell's up there too, with her eye up at the plate.
I've talked to Amanda a number of times over the years about her ability to hit with 2 strikes. She said, I actually enjoy hitting with 2 strikes more than anything else.
Because she's such a good bad ball hitter. She can hit balls that are in the other batter's box with ease. And I think having that type of confident approach is what makes somebody an elite hitter, because you're not just confident with an 0-0 count or an 0-1 count, but you're also just as confident in 2 strike counts. And I will say that I was confident in 2 strike counts, but I didn't exactly love being in 2 strike counts, whereas Amanda Lorenz loves being in these situations.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Lorenz walked her first time up against Garcia. Back-to-back walks for Lorenz. So the leadoff batter aboard for the second time in 3 innings for Team Ocasio. Here comes Janae Jefferson.
Talked about just how dynamic Janae Jefferson is up at the plate. Look at how fast she runs down the base path. This is a ground ball over to the right side, 3.47 seconds, and she's swinging away. Typically, you see those types of speeds with slappers that are already running through the box. Now she can do that as well, as we just saw on that first pitch. But she has that elite level speed even when she's just standing in there and swinging away.
Jefferson playing with Team USA earlier this summer over the World Games. Little nubber. Third baseman Jaquish makes the catch, and Jefferson is retired.
The first baseman, number 29, Tori Vidalis.
Here's Tori Vidalis. Walked her first time up. Could be 2. Out at second, on to first, double play. 5, 4, 3, Jaquish, filler, Gano, and the side is retired. We're playing the great game of fast pitch softball here in Rosemont, Illinois. It is a 2-0 lead for Team Zerkle. As we play the bottom of the 3rd inning, we've got 20 inning points on the line. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is planting 10 trees. Entering today, Aspiration has committed 9,510 trees across all Athletes Unlimited sports. Alicia Ocasio back in the circle. Savannah Jaquish takes ball 1. It'll be Jaquish followed by Moulipola and Garcia. Jaquish, a line drive single to right, first time up.
Hard hit line drive down that left field line. We've seen her spray the ball all over the field, of course, getting that base hit out to right. And it's always interesting hearing these different hitters' approaches and their mindsets when they step into the box. And Savannah Jaquish has a really simple mindset. Sometimes she just tells herself, hit the yellow thing that's coming at you. Because if you flood your mind with too many thoughts, that's when you're going to start to swing out of the zone or maybe have a little bit of a check swing. But for her, it's all about simplifying her game plan, simplifying it all the way down to just hit the yellow thing. And if only it were that easy, but Jaquish makes it look easy.
If you were told, Madison Shipman, what pitch was coming, how much would that improve you as a hitter?
A lot, a lot. And you would be surprised to know how many pitchers actually tip their pitches that they're throwing before they even bring it in there.
Down the right field line, that's trouble, it's off the wall. Jaquish on her way to second, and she's there standing with a double. That ball just carried. Rachel Lewis went back, and just ran out of room.
A couple of hits to the right side too already for this in this ball game for Savannah Jaquish. Gets underneath this one, but you're exactly right. We talked about the wind earlier. Wind not so much a factor right now, but it just kept carrying out towards that right field wall. And Jaquish with the double and 20 points.
So Jaquish a single first time up, a double now. Softly hit, second baseman Jefferson about to collide with Sis Bates, but great communication there, and that's the first out. These are two players that haven't played together before, and that almost was disastrous.
I think that communication piece is so key when you're not as familiar with another player. As soon as that ball goes up into the air, trying to constantly talk to each other, who's going to go after it. You can even see them after that play continuing to talk to each other. So important up the middle, especially when you're trying to make plays on fly balls like that, or even roll up double plays, which we've seen several times already in the first 2 games of this season.
Here's Rachel Garcia. Couldn't pull the trigger. The ball sinks underneath the strike zone. 1-0. Routine for Jefferson. Man, she gets rid of it quick. So Garcia advances Jaquish over to third, but there are now 2 outs.
She's a fantastic defender over at second base. One of the memories that stands out to me was actually in the Super Regionals this past season, going up against Arkansas. A really long at-bat for her pitcher in the circle, Haley Dolcini, going up against Hannah Gamble up at the plate. A 21-pitch at-bat, I believe. Foul ball after foul ball to the left side. And Janae Jefferson came into her pitcher, said, throw her outside, I'll be there up the middle to get the out. And sure enough, throws her outside, ground ball up the middle. Janae Jefferson dives and gets the force out over at second base. It's that confident approach that she has, not just to her play at the plate, but also defensively, that makes her the talk of the town here in Athletes Unlimited.
Yeah, there is a real buzz with Janae Jefferson. Filler, it's a strike, 1-2. Filler had a nice run. AUX out in San Diego, finished 7th on the leaderboard. High pop up, that'd be a home run in a phone booth. Sis Bates staggers and makes the play. Normally the silky smooth Sis Bates had a little bit of adventure there, but she makes the play. Side is retired. When we come back, a tailor-made inning. Nadia Taylor leads things off for Team Ocasio.
Hey, outside pitch, watch a little grounder to you, short. One here, Ridge. Let's roll it here. I'm back. Yeah, perfect, here you go. Yes, I like that. Way to set that up, baby. I like that. All day. I called that. All day, baby, yeah, Jake.
That was our Into the Game with Air National Guard. Listening in to Courtney Gano, comes from a softball family, and all great softball players know you got to talk when you're out there.
Over-communicate is the best type of communication. I think we just got a glimpse of that from Courtney Gano. Somebody who really showed off their versatility, too. At AUX, we've seen her obviously playing first base here today, played a little bit of third base, but also second base when she was called upon.
No score in the second or the third inning. This is now a 30-point inning. Nadia Taylor swings at the first pitch, and that's popped up. We've had a lot of pop-ups here on the infield. Catch is made by Jaquish. This is clearly the anti-Carrie Eberly game. With all these pop-ups, Carrie Eberly is just a ground ball machine when she's in the circle. Both Garcia and Ocasio getting pop-ups, both equally effective.
Well, for Garcia, she's getting a lot of these pop-ups because she's working the ball off of the plate, either inside or outside. That one inside to Nadia Taylor, got her jammed up in on the hands. That's how she's able to induce that pop-up over to third base. And right there, the first pitch to Gwen Savekis, tries to work the curveball way outside to see if she can get another quick out.
Garcia has walked 3. She has only allowed 1 base hit. That was the double by Shannon Rhodes in the second inning. Pop in the mid, 68 miles an hour. Pretty impressive that Svekis got in front of a 70-mile-an-hour steamer. Hey, one of the cool things we get a chance to do at Athletes Unlimited is we have a chair chat. Who's sitting in the chair? Lily Piper is in the chair. Lily, where are you?
Hey, I'm over here. Just relaxing, enjoying it.
How you doing? This is now your 3rd year with Athletes Unlimited.
Yes, it is. Just excited to be out here and getting to do it again.
Into right field, this is playable. And there are now 2 outs. Lily, you're the best basketball player here with Athletes Unlimited. Have you had any good games lately?
Yeah, I have played some 2-on-2 with Odyssey Alexander, Janae Jefferson, and Deja Moulipola. So we've had some fun, just getting to enjoy each other and doing something other than softball.
Well, now over my skis here, I said you're the best player because you played Division I. Are you still the best player?
I try to be. You know, I'm not as much in shape for basketball anymore. That's for sure.
Well, Lily, you're just coming off of the AUX season. How do you think that prepared you for this championship season?
I'm glad to have an opportunity to have more at bats. Sometimes that's hard to come by, especially by only playing 6 weeks out of the year. So we just have that luxury of getting out there and playing again.
Do you have a preference? Do you like to play on dirt, or do you like to play on this turf here in Rosemont?
Since playing on turf, turf's been my best friend as I, get older and past college. It's a lot easier on my body, that's for sure.
Since you've been here for 3 seasons now, you've seen everyone come in and leave. Anyone young coming into this league this year that you're really impressed with and looking forward to watching play and develop?
I'm excited to see Janae Jefferson. Obviously, she was a stunner in the World Series and everything, but just getting to see her develop, and she's already come out and is making an impact. So just excited to see what her career does and how it goes.
Gibson saw it off, and the humpback liner is caught by Filler. Well, Lily Piper, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we hope to do this again soon.
Yes, absolutely.
That's Lily Piper. We love Lily Piper. I want to see that jump shot form at some point. We've got a timeout on the field. We're halfway home. It's the bottom of the 4th when we come back. 2-0 lead for Team Zerkle over Team Ocasio.
Kiki.
Hey y'all.
Hi, welcome to AU.
What's up? I'm here.
What did you know about AU before you got here, and why did you want to be a part of it?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was good, huh?
I knew that there was really good people here and that it was a really fun experience for a lot of people. And I think the exciting part for me is just being able to finish my career the way that I want to and on a high note.
My mom sent me a tweet about an open tryout, and I was like, all right, let's do this.
It just looked like a really fun group of people, and just to grow myself as an athlete, but also as a person as well.
It's a great community and people who care about athletes, and especially female athletes.
I think I just heard a lot of good things. I had some friends play in the years prior and just had a lot of fun just with all the different softball players from different colleges.
The best of the best softball players in the world coming together and just playing on different teams each week. And once I heard that, I wanted to play.
Fresh faces all around Athletes Unlimited. Now the 3rd year with softball here in Rosemont, Illinois. Janae Jefferson, impressive so far. All right, we got changes all over to tell you about. We got a brand new battery. New pitcher Danielle O'Toole. She was phenomenal. AUX out in San Diego. She won it all. She'll be throwing to Sachel Palacios. And it's going to be a new hitter as well. It's Kaylee Clifton has come in to pinch hit. So we see Clifton batting against O'Toole.
Danielle O'Toole, one of the most consistent pitchers that you're going to see out there. She's got a fantastic drop ball, curveball combination, of course, coming from the left side, so she's a completely different look, but she can throw that changeup in any count. She'll even throw back-to-back changeups. She has so much confidence in that off-speed pitch.
Wow. Off-speed pitch, 48 miles per hour to Clifton, called strike one. There used to be a thought process, and it was a long time ago. Why would you ever throw a changeup on your first pitch? Because the whole point was it was the change of speeds from something that was firm to something that's soft. But clearly that's no longer a thought anymore.
You're saying it and it makes sense, but I don't think I've ever had that thought process when I go in there. You know, if I'm facing somebody like a Danielle O'Toole who I know is going to throw a steady dose of changeups, as a batter, I like to go up there and hit those off-speed pitches because I loved hitting changeups. So if they threw it the first pitch, I was going to swing at it. On the flip side, when you do start off the at-bat with the off-speed pitch, the 48-mile-an-hour pitch, and then work it up to the 60-mile-an-hour pitch, when you bring in the heater at 66, it looks like it's coming in there a lot faster than it normally would, especially when it's on the inside part of the plate.
Clifton fouls it at the plate. I think everyone, to a person, was so happy for Danielle O'Toole and the way that she performed in San Diego. This is a player in O'Toole that was never really high up on the leaderboard her first 2 years here with Athletes Unlimited, but she was always among the first couple of draft picks because everyone knows just the elite talent that she is, but just because of circumstances, just didn't have a chance to pick up a lot of points. Called strike 3 to Clifton. First out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So when Danielle got the results, was on winning teams, and won the entire championship with AUX, everyone was just thrilled and smiling from ear to ear for her.
Well, and I really just like how she's mixing so many different speeds. We talk about that elite level changeup coming in the high 40s. That one's a drop ball coming in the low 60s. So when you can mix that with the 66-mile-an-hour curveball as a batter, you have to decide what speed you want to hit. Are you going to hit the harder stuff coming in 67 miles an hour, or are you going to look for the off-speed stuff? And she's going to get you a bit in between too with that drop ball in the low 60s.
Here's Lily Piper. How about that? We just talked to her a moment ago, and she's grabbing a bat ready to do her thing. Piper has been known as a power bat coming off the bench for 3 years. That's her reputation. One swing of magic. Piper batting in place of Haley Busby here with one out in the 4th inning. Hard. Bates knew she had a chance to backpedal a bit, and Piper is out number 2. I don't think I've seen too many shortstop over the years backpedal like that. That's not what you're told to do generally, but it works for Sis Bates. Tomorrow, Athletes Unlimited with a full day of games, starting with lacrosse. A doubleheader coming your way at 1:30 in the afternoon. And night then kicks off with softball at 6:30 Eastern Time. Team Zerkle, Team Chittister, followed by Team Eberly, Team Ocasio. Don't miss out. 4 games coming your way. 2 lacrosse, 2 softball. Busy, busy, busy. Here's Megan Wiggins. Madison, I know that you played shortstop at elite level, played professional on this field. Backpedaling as a shortstop is usually a no-no, right?
No, and it definitely wasn't part of my strategy because I played so deep in the infield. Because my arm strength, I relied a lot on my arm strength. So especially on the turf, I would play all the way back at that grass line because I knew I was going to get the good hops and I could fire it across the diamond. But Sis Bates knows that her strength is her ability to move to her left and to her right and just how quickly she gets rid of the ball. So she knows that she can take a couple of steps back and still be able to make a play across the diamond over at first base.
I am looking forward this season to watching shortstop like Bates, Flippin, and Urtez, and these great defenders that we have, and getting your take and your critique on what makes them special, because they're all kind of different in the way that they do their thing.
They are, but I think they all have the same level of anticipation of where the ball's going to go. As a shortstop, you can't possibly cover every single square inch of ground over on that side of the field, so you're really relying on your pitchers being able to hit their locations and paying attention to swing tendencies of batters up at the plate and the direction in which the ball's going to go. So a lot of thought process is going in through these players' minds before each pitch is thrown, but that's how they're able to end up in so many different spots on the field and always seem like they're all over the place.
Ooh, they called that a fair ball. The home plate umpire calls it a fair ball, and Megan Wiggins has a double. And this may be a captain's challenge.
For a second, I thought he called it foul and then changed his mind to a fair ball because Megan Wiggins did not bust out of the box. I think she thought it might have been foul off the bat.
It's the home plate umpire's call until it gets to third. It looked foul when it got to the bag to me.
Looks foul to me there too.
The call on the field was a double.
Well, the call on the field was fair, and it's going to be a captain's challenge.
Team Ocasio has initiated a captain's challenge. Alicia Ocasio
This is big because there's 2 outs. There's a lot of inning points on the line, 30 of them. You don't want to put a runner in scoring position where a base hit would give an inning win.
The first bounce definitely looked like it was in fair territory, but I think it carried over into foul territory.
Yeah, it's where the ball is when it crosses the bag.
Yeah.
If it was fair, it would actually have hit the bag, right?
Right.
I guess it's possible if the ball's in fair territory, it takes a direct left-hand turn over the bag at third, but I don't think it did.
We have seen a ground ball already do that
Correct.
in this ball game, though. Not hit quite as hard as that one down the line, but.
All right, our replay official is Rachel Palmer. Rachel, what'd you see?
We don't have enough evidence to overturn that, so we're going to have that upheld as a fair ball.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. Our replay official, Rachel Palmer, saying that there's not enough evidence to overturn. And the players just informed as well.
Upon review, the call.
Well, Wiggins loves it because that's a quick 20 points for her on that double down the line.
That is a big call because the second inning was tied, the third inning was tied, and now this fourth inning is worth 30 points. And the captain's got a chance to do some work for herself. Morgan Zerkle will grab a bat. Let's see if O'Toole can work around a call that didn't go her way. .65 miles an hour, outer half, 1-1. Slapped into left field, that'll get down! Extra bases for Zerkle. Wiggins scores. It is an inning win for Team Zerkle. 30 points for everyone on their team.
Morgan Zerkle just continuing to show us how consistent she is up the plate, knowing her team has an opportunity to put a run on the board, and she takes full advantage of it. Stands in there and swings away, knows that this curveball is going to continue to move away from her barrel, but she goes with it, doesn't try to do too much, and just lifts that one out into the left center gap to extend her team's lead.
That's a 50-point swing of the bat for Zerkle. 20 points with the double, 30 points because of the inning win. Sydney Romero. Sydney Romero batting against her teammate over in the Olympics a year ago. Both Danielle O'Toole, Sydney Romero, and actually behind the plate, Sasha Palacios, all members of the Mexican national team. Really want to go deep. You got Tori Vidalis down at first base as well.
There's a lot of Olympians here at Athletes Unlimited. I think you could go on for a very long time.
Tied her up. Brilliant pitching by O'Toole after back-to-back doubles. So a huge inning for Morgan Zerkle and Team Zerkle. They pick up 30 inning points. Not bad. To the fifth we go. Look at this. A creative double by Megan Wiggins, followed by a standard issue double by Morgan Zerkle. And another run scores. That's now 3 runs today in the ball game for Team Zerkle for every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season. Aspiration is planting 10 trees. Entering today, Aspiration is committed to plant 9,510 trees across Athletes Unlimited sports. Well, our Geico leaderboard updated as per usual. A lot of players on Team Eberly, exclusively Team Eberly because of all of the inning wins and the game win. You got Carrie Eberly, who came out of the bullpen, didn't even start the game, but she finishes with the lion's share of the points, 208 of them to be exact. But climbing up that leaderboard, members of Team Zerkle and Morgan Zerkle. Morgan Zerkle with 2 walks, double, already with 40 points, and Zerkle just right now by herself, that's 40, that's 60, plus 16, she's got 76.
I'm going to leave all the math to you. You're much quicker at it than I am. So you did all that in your head. I would have to pull out a calculator,
Come on.
keep track, write
Come
it
on.
down.
Come on.
And then as soon as I'd figure it out, somebody would get a hit and mess up my leaderboard. So I'm glad that I've got you here to figure it all out for me.
It's a brilliant algorithm. It's amazing how the powers that be with Athletes Unlimited came up with this algorithm to determine the best players. And there's never been a fluke. The best players are always the best players in the world. This makes sense. Here's Shannon Rhodes. Rhodes, her first time up, doubled, but was stranded at second. Her second look at Rachel Garcia, who has been impressive. Just one hit allowed through 4 innings. What would be a strategy that could possibly work against Garcia for a batter?
I think if you're a batter, you have to go in there with the mentality that you've got to lay off of the rise ball, lay off of the pitch that's way up and out of the zone, because you're not going to be able to make good contact with that. I would go up there hunting the curveball, whether it be inside or outside. I'd be looking for that pitch that's about thigh high. Even if it's moving away from me, that would be the pitch that I would go up there and look at. Unbelievable
Progress during the 3 series with AUX out of San Diego. Got hit Series 1, made adjustments, and was elite Series 3. Our leaders, as we speak right now, here in Game 2, Rachel Garcia has the most points for anyone. She's got 88, with Power being the pitcher. Zerkle's got 76. Jaquish has 70. Called strike 3. What a big pitch. 3-2. Garcia gets the leadoff batter here in the 5th.
I love that call too. Just when you get the batter thinking you're going to go away with the curveball, she comes back inside with this pitch with a little bit of arm side run to it, running inside to Shannon Rhodes, and gets her looking to start off this inning.
Alicia Ocasio. Ocasio struck out back in inning number 2. Only 2 strikeouts for Garcia. Hammered high and deep down the right field line. It is fair. It's a homer. Alicia Ocasio. Big time blast for Ocasio. Give her 40 points.
A towering blast down the right field line for the captain, Alicia Ocasio.
You love to see these pitchers that hit helping their own cause up at the plate. Alicia Ocasio stands in there, swings away, challenging Rachel Garcia with her toes right on that chalk line, and Garcia tries to work it inside, but Ocasio has such quick hands. She turns on that one, gets her barrel out in front, and drives that one deep into the night over that right field fence.
So Ocasio scores the game's first run for Team Ocasio, and now they've got a chance at least to win an inning. They'd like to kind of build on that. They need to put a 0 on the board at the bottom of the 5th inning, but they've broken the seal at least.
She hit that one 302 feet for her 40 points on that home run. Just an absolute monster of a home run.
And that's going to end the ball game for Rachel Garcia. Garcia was electric for a large chunk of this game, but she gives it the home run, and they decide to go to the pen. Taylor McQuillan will come on as she gets swarmed. We'll remind you that you still have your chance to be a part of Athletes Unlimited Softball in person right here in Rosemont, Illinois. Tickets are available right now as we speak at auprosports.com/tickets. So the new pitcher, Taylor McQuillan, wearing number 82, her 3rd year with Athletes Unlimited. We had a chance to talk to her about her pitching style.
I think confidence is key, and just knowing who you are, staying true to you. I love the phrase, be where your feet are. If you're not present in those moments, then you're not going to be there. And I think that for me, that confidence and that being present in the moment, that's who I am. And that's who I need to be in order to be successful, not just for me, but for the 8 other people on the field with me, and then for the people in the dugout next to me.
Taylor McQuillan, one of the best to ever come out of Arizona. That's saying something. all the great arms that they've had down there in Tucson, but she put up numbers.
And another lefty coming into this ball game too, coming in relief for Rachel Garcia. I like this move because she's a completely different look than what we saw out of Garcia, of course, coming from the left side, but she's going to work that curveball to both sides of the plate. She's also got that upspin. She's going to work her pitches up in the zone too. But what I loved hearing is she doesn't just have one pitch that is her go-to pitch every single ball game, but she has a bunch of different pitches that she can throw in her repertoire to try to get these batters out.
McQuillan facing Sis Bates. These two very familiar with each other. Their careers overlapping in the Pac-12. Bates at Washington, McQuillan at Arizona. Right now, Sis Bates, her brain is fried. She's like, oh my goodness, Taylor McQuillan. She's an Arizona Wildcat, but she's wearing that Washington Husky purple. What's this all about? Called strike. 2-1 to Bates.
I keep wondering too when another team's going to bust out the stirrups, because it ended up being good luck for Team Eberly in game 1 today, but I don't see either one of these teams wearing the stirrups. Will we see the stirrups again? Only time will tell.
You got to wear them until you lose, right?
I would.
3 balls and a strike. This is Bates. Taking all the way, and she'll have to go back in the left-handed batter's box. Bates was a rookie last year, finished 9th on the leaderboard. Called strike 3. Good job by McQuillan.
That was a great example of McQuillan using that curveball to both sides of the plate. The pitch before, she worked it away to Sis Bates. This one she throws inside. So it's a pitch that starts off looking like it's going to actually end up in that left-handed batter's box, and that tight spin, that great rotation on it, curves back into the strike zone for strike 3.
Amanda Lorenz doesn't have an official at bat here in our ball game. She's been to the plate twice and walked twice. McQuillan had a heck of a turnaround last year. Inaugural AU Softball 2020, she got hit. Wasn't where she wanted to be on the leaderboard, but last year much improved. Was one of the best arms in the league.
Well, I love that motto that we just heard from her too, just being where her feet are. I think when you get into this league, it can be easy to get overwhelmed with the point system, going out there and try to get those big individual performances. But for her, you hear her talk about how important it is for her to just stick to the process, focus on those little things to be able to help her team behind her. When you focus on something other than your own individual performance, you'd be surprised at how well you start to perform yourself.
Three balls and 2 strikes to Lorenz. Lorenz is, I don't even know if she's even swung the bat. She's gotten 2 walks. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Swings at a pitch that was probably outside the strike zone, just couldn't lay off, and we'll do it again.
There was one pitch earlier in this at-bat that, by the reaction that Amanda Lorenz had after she watched it go by for a strike, I'd imagine that was the pitch that she was hunting for. She just didn't pull the trigger early enough. It was a curveball inside that she let go by for strike 1.
Called strike 3. Taylor McQuillan, where you been? Back-to-back strikeouts of Bates and Lorenz, but damage done by Alicia Ocasio.
Ocasio getting her team on the board with this solo shot way over that right field fence. An absolute no-doubter off the bat. Team Zerkle still up 3-1.
Welcome back, everyone. We've made it to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is a 3-1 lead for Team Zerkle over Team Ocasio, but we've got any points on the line. Team Ocasio scoring here in the top of the 5th inning on the home run by Alicia Ocasio. So that is something that Team Zerkle will have to deal with. They trail this inning by 1 run. All right, we're joined now with a chair chat. We're going to talk to one of my favorites. Gwen Svekis is available. What's going on, Gwen?
Eric, that's so kind. Nothing much, just hanging out. What's up with you?
We're like all Svekis all the time. We talked to your dad earlier today, and he was remarkably cool.
Oh my gosh, he is remarkably cool, and he's a softball encyclopedia, so I hope you ask some good questions.
It was actually key, so I couldn't put his feet to the fire.
Nice.
We didn't talk about your speed or anything like that.
Gwen, we just came off of the AUX season. What's something that you took from that season that you're carrying into the championship season here in Rosemont?
That's a good question. AUX was a grind for me. I didn't win very much, and I'm not used to that, so it was a very humbling experience. But this whole environment is so special because teams only exist once. So I was telling this team before the weekend started that this feels like a very special team. So I'm just excited to be out here and competing with such a group of talented individuals. We have the defending championship season champ and the defending AUX champ on our team. So I think we're gonna get it together here and have a great weekend.
And you know, speaking of these teams only existing once, how challenging is it for you as a catcher to catch so many different pitchers in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, I've been very lucky over the last 2 years to have a consistent catcher for the majority of my time, but it's definitely a challenge. Changing batteries is one of the hardest things that can happen in our game overall, and getting to know what a pitcher throws, but not only what they throw, but what are they doing when they're successful, and how do they play with batters, and you know, how often do they like to throw their changeup? Simple things like that are really important, and it takes time to develop that. My favorite thing about being a catcher is when you get to the stage with a pitcher where you don't even need to call pitches anymore. You're kind of just on the same page all the time, and that takes a long time to develop. So this environment really puts your feet to the fire, making sure that you figure it out quickly.
Gwen, people who have seen so much with Athletes Unlimited over the years, they know what a wonderful player Danielle O'Toole is.
Yeah.
But she never finished on the leaderboard, where kind of maybe people thought she might have, until AUX.
Yeah.
What was the big difference for her with her finally getting the results that everyone kind of expected of her earlier?
Yeah, I think Tuli's going into the end of her career here. She announced the other day that she was going to be retiring after this season. So I think this summer has been very peaceful to her, and much more of a celebration than it is a grind. And I think that part, you know, having that in the back of her head is bringing out the best parts of Tuli. And our game is going to be really sad to see her go.
Gwen, I got to ask you.
Yeah.
Ocasio, Osterman, O'Toole have all been the champion. Are you thinking of changing your name to Osvekis for the next couple of weeks?
Oh, no.
Deep to center, Moulipola! Her first homer of the season, and that ties the inning. Now, Gwen, you thought you guys were going to have an inning win.
Never know. It rolls over. I like a bigger inning win anyway.
Moulipola's a good player, though.
Yeah, she's great.
Well, we were just talking about AUX with Gwen and carrying over what you learned in AUX here into the championship season. And somebody that was so consistent out in San Diego was Deja Moulipola. And it's because of swings like this, a pitch that's left a little bit more up in the zone, and she clobbers it. Danielle O'Toole knew as soon as that ball left her bat that thing was leaving the yard.
Love the celebrations. Who's the leader with what you guys are doing? Your theme this week, and who's making all the arrangements? I see you guys have a little bit of, I don't know what you would call that, but you had the fancy little sparkly stuff outside your dugout. Who's in charge of all the fun things this week with?
Oh, that's Lily, of course. Lily's, come on. Lily's such a fun captain to play with. She's so creative. She understands that you're a person before you're an athlete, and I think that part of her makes her a great captain. I love playing for and with her.
And my last question for you, I'm curious. Everyone sees you wearing your uniform, but you do a lot of things with Athletes Unlimited when you're not in uniform.
Yeah.
Manager of player care and coordination.
Yep.
What is your year like when you're not playing softball?
It's very busy. I'm very involved with all the sports. I'm kind of the middleman between athletes and our staff, and I'm in charge of onboarding and all the operations and logistics with our athletes. So it's a fun job. It's craziness. I get to go to the other seasons and get to know those professional athletes, which is my favorite part, is being surrounded by such powerful women of other sports and getting to know their experience as a pro. And there are some things that are similar, and there are a lot of things that are different, which is really interesting and exciting.
Well, Gwen, you're a huge part of changing professional sports. Thank you for all that you do.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks, you guys.
Gwen Svekis, one of the huge reasons why we're here. All right, it is a 4-1 ball game. Team Zerkle leading by 3. The home run by Deja Moulipola. Tying this inning, making next inning a rollover inning, unless Andrea Filler can do something about it right here. Beautiful changeup. It's almost like clockwork. 48-mile-an-hour changeup. 48-mile-an-hour changeup.
Well, and she can throw it for a strike whenever she wants to. She has so much confidence in that pitch. That was a 2-0 count. She brought it in there knowing that she could get it for a strike. And right there, a little bit lower in the zone, and you might think that that's a miss, but I think that's intentional for her to throw it down in the dirt to see if she can try to get a swing and miss from Filler up at the plate.
Quality strike on 3-1. Team Zerkle, 2 runs in the first, 1 in the fourth, 1 here in the fifth. Off-speed pitch, thing of beauty. Danielle O'Toole at the height of her game. But the home run by Moulipola ties the inning. We'll have a rollover 20-point inning when we return.
Deja Moulipola, one of the best hitters in this league, and she's showing us exactly why with that sweet swing, the solo shot over the center field wall.
Team Ocasio with some work to do. They trail Team Zerkle 4-1. It is now the 6th inning. We've got 20 inning points on the line. New season, new look, new merch. Be sure to check out all of the brand new Athletes Unlimited items. Go to shop.auprosports.com to purchase yours today. And clearly my words are like magic. Everyone's got their phones out, getting it done. Let's check in with Key Michael. Key, who are you with?
And Nikki, thank you so much for being so patient. We've been hanging out, wanting to chat to you for a couple of innings. You guys were Athletes Unlimited interns.
Yes, yes.
How did that happen?
So our old director of ops, Andrea Filler, who's on the purple team, she had a connection within AU, and she sent it to our team, and we just took advantage of the opportunity and watching full softball and work for AU. It was cool. Great.
What was the best part about the internship?
Definitely the trash pickup. You know, after everyone left, we were picking up trash.
You were here working.
You get a new appreciation for the people that are behind the scenes.
Yeah,
for
sure.
So now you appreciate that you can just sit, watch, eat some popcorn. But while you're watching, who in particular are you watching out there?
So like we said, our old director of ops, Andrea Filler, she's an alum from Northwestern. And then our old teammate who just graduated, Rachel Lewis, she's on gold. And dear old Ranch, we love you.
Love you, Ranch.
Ranch.
Well, you guys were interns last year. Is it safe to say that next year you might be out there on the field?
That might be a goal, you know. We'll see what happens with this next year. We got a long time coming, but that's a goal for sure.
Yeah. I love that. And I asked you guys what you're watching when you're watching, other than the people that you're watching. What's the best part about watching softball?
The ball. Just watching with the ball.
The yellow thing.
Watch
the yellow thing.
Watching everyone play, and pitchers are always interesting to watch. The hitters are always interesting to watch. You like watching the hitters.
I was gonna say, seeing the girls have fun and still appreciating the game even after college.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad you guys are here, and I can't wait to see you guys out on the field.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Awesome,
Go
guys.
Cats.
Go Cats.
Oh, thank you, Key. Yeah, you got to finish every conversation with Go Cats if you played Northwestern. What a ride for the Northwestern Wildcats. Once again, making it to the Women's College World Series with a new bunch of players. They went not that long ago with Garland Cooper and Tammy Williams, Eileen Canning. Put out some players. Janae Jefferson off Gano's glove, but Johnny on the spot is the Northwestern Wildcat. Andrea Filler, go Cats! How about that? Filler playing second, bailing out Courtney Gano.
What a fantastic play by Andrea Filler. Made that one look easy. And we mentioned how much speed Janae Jefferson has when she's running down the baseline. She was doing whatever she could to try to beat that one out. Actually slid into first base. But Filler fired that one over there to get it for out number 1.
And how about that? The night is not done for Rachel Garcia. Rachel Garcia is going to come back into our ball game. Taylor McQuillan hands her back over the ball. So McQuillan came out of the pen and got 2 strikeouts an inning ago, and then gets the first out of Janae Jefferson. And now with Tori Vidalis scheduled to bat, Rachel Garcia will re-enter the game.
A common theme with those 3 outs in a row, all of them being left-handed batters going up against the lefty and Taylor McQuillan. So they decide to bring back in Rachel Garcia, the righty, to face the righties in this offense, knowing that she primarily goes to that curveball, moving away from the right-handed batters to try to see if she can get some quick outs here.
And this is one of the things that's really changed with AU in the first 3 years that we've seen play. You don't ride one pitcher for very long. If you've got 5 horses, you kind of mix and match throughout the course of a game. That seems to work best.
And I think the strategy for the pitchers here in this championship season is a lot different than even what we saw in the AUX season too, because there was one team that was playing a doubleheader in each one of those series one of those days. So they had to be really strategic in how they used their pitchers to not only prepare for that doubleheader, but also to play in those 2 games in a row. You got to make sure your pitchers are staying as fresh as possible.
No swing for Vidalis. 1 ball and 1 strike. TV Torrey hit the ball hard her last time up, but hit it so hard, hit into a double play. Round the horn, 5-4-3. Smoked, but foul. Texas A&M, Tori Vidalis. There's your leaderboard. Still everyone on that list is on Team Eberly wearing the blue. You go down to the second page, then all of a sudden you see the Deja Moulipola, you see Garcia, Zerkle. And remember, we're still going to factor in a game win, possibly an MVP. So there's going to be a lot of movement between now and when we first start play tomorrow afternoon. What a get. Rachel Garcia has been magnificent since joining Athletes Unlimited. Liner off the glove of Filler. Vidalis always hits a line drive somewhere. This time it gets past the glove of Filler. 1 out base runner.
Great effort for Filler over at second base. I thought for a second she was going to have that one. But Tori Vidalis hit this one right on the money. A curveball moving away from her gets it right on the sweet spot of the barrel, and it just tips off of the top of Andrea Filler's glove and scoots out into center field.
Madison Shipman as a shortstop during your playing days, collegiately in the SEC, and then playing professionally, National Pro Fast Pitch. Who hit some of the hardest balls to you as an infielder? I know Tori Vidalis. All the defenders here must be terrified when she comes to the plate. Who do you remember back in your playing days?
I was going to say, I was too old to play against somebody like a Tori Vidalis. Actually, Sam Fisher hit one of the hardest line drives I've ever caught, and that was back my freshman year. We played at Loyola Marymount out in Palm Springs in a tournament, a preseason tournament. I'm trying to think if there were any other hard line drives that went right back to me. I always liked the ones that were up just a little bit because I was
protect the face.
I was much taller than a lot of the other shortstops around, so I didn't have to jump very high to make those types of plays.
Did you feel that being tall was an advantage, or was it making your life more difficult?
I definitely think I used it to my advantage. You might not believe me, but I was actually one of the shorter players on a lot of my travel ball teams, the youth teams growing up, and I had this growth spurt in high school, so I've always kind of had a short person mentality out there on the field, doing whatever I could to try to get that first step, have a really quick reaction to the ball, and that was something that I used not just in my college career, but also in my professional career as well.
Nadia Taylor. Runner on at first base is Abby Ramirez, who has come on to pinch run for Tori Vidalis. Nadia skies this one foul, and Wiggins makes the play! Megan Wiggins makes the play in foul territory. That's out number 2. No one knows this outfield quite like Megan Wiggins. No one has played more here at this stadium than her.
Off the bat, I thought that one was going to continue to carry over that left field wall, but it just worked its way back into play. Wiggins there to make the catch, and Abby Ramirez took off so far off of first, she didn't have an opportunity to try to tag up and advance to second base on that fly ball.
How about this? The wheels continue to move with the left-handed batting Sasha Palacios next. We're going to see another pitching change. So McQuillan comes back in to replace Rachel Garcia. don't know how many warm-up pitches you get when you come back into the same inning you left. That's something that rarely occurs. Does she get any warm-up pitches?
I don't think you get any warm-up pitches when you come back into the same inning.
Okay.
I think you just go right after it.
Fine by me.
It wasn't that long ago. She's probably still warm.
You know what? This may backfire. So because the left-handed batting Palacios was coming up, they wanted to bring the left-handed throwing McQuillan, but Team Ocasio, they decided to bring back Gwen Svekis. So now we'll have a right-handed batter against the left-handed pitcher. So would you rather have Garcia pitching to Palacios or McQuillan pitching to Svekis? If I'm Team Ocasio, I like this matchup better. I trust Svekis a little bit more than Palacios.
Yeah, and I really like the way that McQuillan was throwing, too. I think she's got some really good movement on her curveball to both sides of the plate, and not just is it moving east to west, but she's got a bit of downward bite on some of her pitches, too. So I really think this is going to be a good matchup here.
Well, Team Ocasio, they're running out of time. This is the 6th inning. There's 2 outs, so they only have 4 more outs to play with. They're down 3. If Svekis makes it out here, the 7th inning will feature 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. So some of the top-heavy strength is already gone. It's maybe the last great opportunity for them to win an inning or put a big inning together. Ooh, and Svekis gets the bruise and gets some points. When you're hit by the pitch, it's a +8 for Svekis. And there's now runners on at first and at second.
McQuillan tries to work this curveball inside to Svekis, and it just hits off of that right leg, back right leg. An easy 8 points for Gwen.
Here's Danielle Gibson. Elite power for Gibson. Played at both. Finished her career at Arkansas. Gibson got off to that great start out in AUX.
We talked earlier about how different batters have different strategies when they step into the box. Some people feel more comfortable in the back of the box. But Danielle Gibson's somebody who feels much more comfortable being way up in the box. And her being up in the box gets hit.
Oh my goodness. Back-to-back hit batters. That's a +8 for Gibson. These are the way that hitters can get points or lose points. Single, double, triple homer, 10, 20, 30, 40. Same thing for stolen base or sacrifice. It's a +8 when you walk or hit. If you get caught stealing, that'd be a no-no. You get docked 10 points. And all of a sudden, this is a massive opportunity for Shannon Rhodes. You got runners on at every base. There are 2 outs. If she can do something positive here, they'd have a chance to not only win the inning, they'd have a chance to get closer to possibly winning the game. And if it's a really big thing that she does, she'd have some chance to get some MVP points. This is a critical at bat with the game hanging in the balance. Ball and a strike. Rookie from Texas, Shannon Rhodes. McQuillan has just hit the last 2 batters, and she's not going to get the benefit of the doubt.
That's a good looking pitch outside. Solid take by Shannon Rhodes.
Chased. Pitch just died in the left-handed batter's box, 2-2.
I guarantee Rhodes thought that McQuillan was going to go with that curveball outside again, and instead she pulls the string on it, and that's why she was way out in front on that swing.
There is no way that we're going to have a substitution. Oh, it's a pinch runner. Okay. I was like, there's no way you're taking Shannon Rhodes out after a bad swing. All right, so we will have a pinch runner. That is going to be Rachel Lewis. She comes back into the game, and she's going to run. So Lewis is on at first. You got Svekis who could scoot on at second. You got Ramirez on at third. So with 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, pitch runner on at first base. That's why we have the delay. Gives Rhodes a chance to gather. 2-2. Oh my goodness, gets away from the catcher! Ramirez scores! McQuillan hits 2 batters and then throws a wild pitch in and allows a run to score.
Pause. This pitch just bounces way in front of home plate. Moulipola can't get around it to keep it in front, and a good jump by Abby Ramirez on third base scores easily on that wild pitch.
McQuillan strikes out Rhodes, but that is a huge run for Team Ocasio. They get within 2. They've got a chance to win this 6th inning. Let's take a look at our Geico defensive play of the game.
Some big strikeouts for Taylor McQuillan here. A couple of curveballs, backdoor curveballs, working her advantage to those left-handed batters, racking up a couple of strikeouts for Team Zerkle.
We've got a new pitcher coming into the game for Team Ocasio, the Canadian Olympian Sarah Gronewagen. Gronewagen will come on and try and protect the run that was scored in the top of the 6th inning. If she can get 3 outs without a run scoring, it's going to be worth 20 points for everyone on Team Ocasio because the 5th inning was tied and was rolled over. Let's talk a little bit more about Gronewagen.
If you're Gronewagen here, you really just want to set the tone early, get ahead of this batter. She's going to throw the ball with some pretty good velocity in the mid-60s. She's got some good upward spin on that rise ball, but she's got an elite level changeup. Again, another off-speed pitch that these pitchers can throw in any count.
Gano swung at a pitch up by her eyes. 0-1. Gano will be followed by, looks like Lily Piper in the on-deck circle. Then the top of the order, Megan Wiggins. Courtney Gano, once again, she is the only mother here with Athletes Unlimited. She was back at AUX back in June in San Diego, and she's the only mother here in our championship season. Her son Greggy follows her wherever she goes. What a unique experience that must be for him to be spending his young childhood with his mom and 60 other aunts.
I love seeing all these videos. Greggy's 2nd birthday, and he celebrates it here in Rosemont with all of his aunts in Athletes Unlimited. You can see just how excited he is to be back here in Chicago. Be able to watch his mom go out there and compete on the field every single day. See her work so hard to be able to get back to this professional level, something that I truly admire from up here in the booth, what she's been able to do to get herself ready to compete here at Athletes Unlimited.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Called strike 3. Gronewagen strikes out Gano to begin our 6th inning.
We talked about setting the tone, and what a better way to set the tone than with a strikeout looking to start off the bottom of the 6th inning. She works this pitch back inside, a little bit of arm side run to it, but it's also working slightly down in the zone and gets Gano looking.
In this game, we have had 9 combined strikeouts, and Madison, 6 of the 9 have been looking. Early in the season, trying to figure out strike zones, maybe?
Yeah, I think we talk a lot about these pitchers trying to figure out the strike zone back behind the plate, but I also like to think of things from a hitter's perspective, too. They're trying to figure out that strike zone as well. What are some of the pitches that they need to swing at? What are some that they can take? We've seen some close takes, but a lot of these pitches, outside especially, are the ones that they're getting called looking on.
For those with a discerning eye, yes, that was Jen Salling. Jen Salling was one of the facilitators this year. The great Canadian Olympian, one of the best defenders I have ever seen, all over the infield. There's Jen Salling. A lot of wisdom that she can impart. There are no head coaches, there are no general managers. You have facilitators who help with practices and making sure that everyone's where they need to be, but the captains make all the decisions. It's the first time we've seen Jen Salling help out as a facilitator. Lily Piper, softly to right. Ocasio makes the play, 2 down.
Left fielder, number 25, Megan Wiggins.
So Groenewagen is now 1 out away from guiding Team Ocasio to 20 inning points. It would be the first inning win of the day for Team Ocasio. Megan Wiggins. Strange double her last time up. This conversation for another day, but Megan Wiggins owns a antique store down in Georgia.
It's always fun hearing what these athletes do when they're not on the field playing softball. Such a talent that Megan Wiggins has.
She's a great athlete, an unbelievable sprinter back in the day, was a track star, has been a professional softball player for over a decade. She's played overseas, played in Japan without an interpreter. She's done a bit of everything, but at heart, she's an antiquer. One person's trash is another person's treasure. One-two pitch. Ooh, man, what an inning by Groenewagen. Groenewagen goes 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts, and Team Ocasio to a person. They all go plus 20. Well, we've made it to the 7th inning. Team Ocasio finally with some inning points. They won both the 5th and the 6th, but they're still down by 2. Fans, it's time to earn points just for watching. If you're an Unlimited Club member, enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app to earn points and move up the leaderboard. To get the app, download it today for free at your app store and get access to great AU content and experiences all season long. AU1SBHR? AU1SBHR. There is your code. We've got changes to tell you about. Lily Piper is the new right fielder. Piper has been, for the most part, an infielder during her first 2 seasons with Athletes Unlimited, but now she's dancing and playing right field. Whole new ball player.
Saw her play both third and first base at AUX, and now showing off her skills in right field.
Alicia Ocasio will lead things off. Ocasio, Sis Bates, and Amanda Lorenz scheduled to bat against Taylor McQuillan. Last time up, Alicia Ocasio hit just her 2nd home run here with Athletes Unlimited, and her 1st in 2 years. And it went over 300 feet. Was it 301?
302.
302. I shortchanged her. That was a figure 4 for those of you yogis out there. And going for her 2nd home run over the last 2 years with that swing.
Really seems like her game plan and her at-bats is to go after those pitches inside. Another curveball inside to the lefty Ocasio, but it tails back towards the outside part of the plate.
Called strike 3. That's been an epidemic. That is the 7th combined called 3rd strike for both sides.
I think that just goes to show you how much movement McQuillan has on this curveball. Set it up with a pitch before, more inside, and then has this one start over the middle of the plate and then continue to move towards that outside part of the zone. Right about thigh high. That's a really pretty pitch.
Sis Bates right to the first baseman. One former Washington Husky tags out the other one. Heather Tarr smiling. 2 down. All right, if Amanda Lorenz can't keep this game alive, if she doesn't get a base hit. If Team Ocasio doesn't score a run, it's over. Sometimes that's in question because, remember, we're always playing for inning wins. But the game would be over. Technically, Team Zerkle would win the inning and everyone would get 10 points, and the game would be over and everyone on Team Zerkle would get 50 points because of that win. So Amanda Lorenz trying to keep the game alive and give Team Ocasio an opportunity to continue to get points. Lorenz has been the most patient batter that we've seen tonight. Walked her first 2 times up, had a 3-2 count in the 5th inning, and took a borderline pitch that was called a strike. Again takes a borderline pitch that is called a strike. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lorenz every single time today has seen a minimum of 5 pitches. She's getting ready to see her 6th pitch here in this at-bat.
She heard you say that she's the most patient hitter here at Athletes Unlimited, and she's going to prove you right.
Ball game! Taylor McQuillan strikes out Amanda Lorenz, and a stirring win for Team Zerkle. They win 5 of the 7 innings. They win the entire game, and they're going to have a whole bunch of MVP points to divvy up when it's all said and done. What a performance, a commanding performance by Morgan Zerkle and Team Zerkle here on a Friday night.
We talk about how important it is to have a good strategy with how you want to use your pitchers, and I think that Team Zerkle had a fantastic strategy tonight, utilizing both Rachel Garcia and Taylor McQuillan to come out with a win tonight.
Heck of a win for Team Zerkle here in our opening day of Year 3 of Athletes Unlimited Softball. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll come back with final thoughts. Well, I've been waiting for this for a couple of weeks, and it did not disappoint. The very first day of Athletes Unlimited Year 3 here in Rosemont, Illinois. Whole heck of a lot of fun, 2 wonderful ball games, and this is a live look at our leaderboard brought to you by Geico. Remember, we still need to factor in the MVPs.
It's always so fun to see how much this leaderboard changes throughout this season. Of course, we talk about how important those team win points are, the individual points, but really the difference maker is those MVP points, and that's voted upon by the players themselves, a very player-led league, and that's what makes it so exciting.
Wonderful win for Team Zerkle. They did it with timely hitting, they did it with a long ball, and they did it with great pitching. Both Rachel Garcia and Taylor McQuillan carrying the day. For both Madison Shipman and Key Michael and our entire Athletes Unlimited crew, I am Eric Collins saying good night from Rosemont, Illinois. We've got a full day of Athletes Unlimited action coming your way tomorrow. Lacrosse doubleheader starting at 1:30 Eastern, followed by a softball doubleheader at 6:30 Eastern. See you tomorrow. You don't want to miss out on a thing.